Hello and welcome to Deep Blue Sea, the podcast. I am Mark, man is the real threat, Hoffmeyer.
And I am Jay, machines, robots, computers, Cluet. And this is Deep Blue Sea 2, Chapter 8. What happens in Deep Blue Sea 2, Chapter 8? Well, I'll tell you. In the green filtration room, Trent Slater and Carl Durant argue but eventually climb up the access ladder in the air shaft. Floating in her life jacket, the unconscious Leslie Kim wakes up in the blue corridor and screams for her husband Daniel. Daniel, in a green corridor, sees Leslie through the window in a locked door and gets her attention just before the water behind Leslie starts bubbling with very slow baby sharks. She runs to the door, but Daniel can't get it open, and Leslie is killed horrifically. Daniel screams. Dr. Misty Calhoun heads to Trent's sleeveless welding room and finds a small oxygen tank, scuba gear, and an acetylene torch. Trent and Durant make it topside, where Trent calls the Coast Guard for help. Aaron is paddling his mattress along a blue corridor, where the baby sharks make him fall in the water, but he manages to swim away. He finds a despondent Daniel in a red corridor, where they take a moment to mourn Leslie, and Aaron convinces Daniel to keep going, telling Daniel to live for her. Misty is cutting a hole in the busted filtration room door with the acetylene torch. Aaron and Daniel find her, but the baby sharks aren't far away. Misty pulls the other two through the door and stands guard, planning to fight a shiver of shark pups with an acetylene torch. But because this is a ridiculous plan, it of course fails, and all the baby sharks swim past Misty and into the filtration room, where Aaron and Daniel are climbing the ladder. As they climb, the room shakes, the water begins to rise, and that's the end of the chapter. Mark, so much happens in this chapter. We need someone to help us talk about it. Who have we got joining us this week?
So, coming back, she was a guest on our first, when we covered Deep Blue Sea the first time. And it's someone that I know very well. Well, I hope I do, because if I don't, then we're in trouble. And there might. But yeah, it's the wonderful Megan Hoffmeyer. Welcome back.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You're Megan, on fire, exploding.
Oh yeah, taking on water without power, on fire, structural damage.
He's so calm. He delivers that. We're taking on water, we're without fire, and we are on fire. Like, I would have a lot of questions.
Excellent itemized list. I like it.
Yeah, we are on fire. We rewound it too, just to listen to it again, just to listen to Trent's delivery on that.
If I was the Coast Guard, that would get my attention.
Right, I would have questions.
Hey guys, we're on fire.
I would have many, many questions.
And he gets out of there before they ask. Yeah, I like his style. Okay, can I ask you a question? Now, the way this chapter starts off, we have good old Trent Slady, we have good old Carl Durant, and they're trying to get to the air shaft that leads to the surface. But I love that when they get in there, Trent's like, I'm going to get to the surface, and then I'm going to come back down and save you, Dr. Misty Calhoun. And in the scene, Carl Durant, played by Michael Beach, rips off an aluminum door, and he's crawling to get inside of the air shaft. And Trent goes, what are you doing?
He's so aggressive.
But then they have an argument for several minutes.
Go to hell!
Yeah. Listen, she's a lunatic, and I like her, but she's a different lunatic. We got to get up there. But I just love how Trent Slater said, I'm going to get to the surface and save you. But then when they're trying to get to the surface of the ladder, he starts yelling at Durant.
Yeah.
Which, but their plan was to go to the surface.
I feel like maybe Trent's just giving the door one more go, just to check it's definitely not stuck. But yeah, he's deviating from the plan that he just made seconds ago. So I
It's a very high-stress, confusing situation. Easy to get distracted.
I guess. Maybe there's some head injuries involved. And also, Carl Durant is just talking about machines taking over the world. He's shaking around his shark juice. I mean, it's a very confusing time.
Man versus machine.
Megan, so we've talked about this before, but I just want to know what you think about the scenes where he goes full Chuck or full Limitless, when Carl Durant goes full Chuck. How did you feel about that? Oh, actually, Megan, how did you feel about watching this for the first time? And
yes. This was the first time I had watched it. I know you've been watching it a bunch, but it's typically while I'm, working in the office, and I don't get the pleasure of watching all of the chapters. But it was fun. It was much more of a horror movie than the first one is, and I know you said that was the intention here, but it really has those more horror-y elements. It feels less sci-fi, even though obviously sharks, smart sharks, serum, chemistry, illusions in a man's mind.
Yeah.
It's very, there's a lot going on, but it was fun. Baby sharks.
Did I wreck it for you when I said, watch this, and all of a sudden he goes full Chuck?
No. No, not at all. I sort of underestimated that it was really going to happen, and then it actually came on the screen. I went, oh, they actually did it, so that's impressive.
That's it. You can't oversell those moments. You cannot prepare yourself. You cannot gird yourself for what is about to be shown on screen.
I don't think I really believed it was going to happen, and then it did. I think, Mark goes math right before, and I was like, what are you talking about? This.
Did you like the shark watching from the window, Meg?
Oh. Yeah, it's so creepy. It's great. Such side eye.
If we all are ever together and we have, let's say in 2024, we have a house party. There's 50 people here. Everyone's enjoying themselves. I'm going to put on Deep Blue Sea 2. And I'm just going to wait for the scene. I'm going to yell, everybody stop! Watch the TV! 50 people stopping their conversations, looking at the TV. Math! And then the math.
And I will be outside the window watching in.
I really kind of want to take the shot of the shark looking in the window and just Photoshop it in the back of all kinds of windows everywhere.
Ooh, that'd be amazing.
That'd be great.
I love that scene though. Bella's just sitting there listening, and it's beautiful, and I love it. And also one other question that Megan asked me while we were watching this. I don't know if you remember because you love this movie so much. You were like, "Shh, Mark, don't talk."
I was just in awe.
But you said, did they use these hallways well? Do you think they recycled the hallways?
Oh, yeah. Well, so Mark, I mean, everyone knows this by now if they listen to the podcast, but you do a lot of research and you watch a lot of background. So I'm always curious to hear your insights on how well the production did or didn't go. And I did notice that the colors were changing, and I think that's visually interesting. It does cue you that you're in a different space, not the same one. That could be very confusing if they didn't do it. But I wanted to know if you felt after viewing it so many times they were utilizing the hallways well, if you felt that it held up and you weren't seeing the same thing over and over.
I mean, I think you're right. Watching it again, I didn't even think about it before because I always just knew that it was the same hallway lit different ways. Mm-hmm. But when you watch it, after you asked me that question, I started kind of rewatching it. And I think they do a good job. The only thing that's a little off is where I think when they lock out Dr. Misty Calhoun and then break the door, that's the same door where Leslie Kim is killed next to Daniel Kim. But you still have the different lighting. I mean,
yeah, and you're further away from it, too, because you're getting a shot where she's trying to torch the thing open, so...
I mean, it's good. It's they found different angles. They shoot it differently. They add the rafts in there for some flavor. They have the different lights.
The raft, yeah.
And I don't know. I think they did what they could on a budget. And the more I get used to it, the more I like it. But yeah, it seems like they're wandering around the place.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And it makes it seem very expansive. What do you think, Jay?
I agree. I like the use of color. I think the first time I watched it, I was kind of like, what is with all these? Why is everything green now? Why is everything like a luminous orange now? In this chapter, I'm not a big fan of the combination of the green and the blue, where you've got Daniel on one side in the green and Leslie on one side in the blue, and you have the window looking between the two, so you've got like a green surround with a blue in the middle. Mm-hmm. The vibrancy and the actual specific tone of the colours, they don't go well together. I think they don't like complement each other. It's jarring to look at, but then it's a jarring scene. Leslie's being killed and smushed against the glass with like half a face, so you're supposed to be on edge, I suppose.
What color combo would you like instead?
Well, blue and orange goes well, and green and red go well. It's like, the colour wheel where you have the opposite colour of the colour wheel. So if Daniel was... There are orange corridors somewhere, so if Daniel was in the orange corridor, and Leslie's still in the blue corridor, then that blue-orange combo would be nice. It would be pleasing. But then, it's not supposed to be pleasing. It's supposed to be like, oh my god, she's dying. Where's her face gone?
Oh, I know. That is a really messed up
It's horrific.
The true innocent in this movie, and there's a scene where Aaron steps up and gives... Daniel Kim a speech, and he goes, Leslie would want you to live, and Megan goes, would she?
Yeah. Well, after you've pointed out how awful he was about her research, stealing
For 7 months.
I mean, I don't know how favorable I'd feel about him at that point. Maybe we should just go down together.
Yeah, I'm not rooting for you.
Mm-mm.
Well, Aaron says he didn't really know Leslie. But he knows that she loved it. I like that speech. I never really knew her, but I guess she liked you. You should probably live for her, I suppose.
There's a lot of cuddling going on. You should live for the stolen research that you took from her.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Daniel. He's fought, but Aaron becomes the superhero. He survives his bed attack, his floating bed attack, from the ravaging band of baby sharks, who I love them. They're maniacs, these baby sharks.
They screech like little raptors, and it's just hilarious.
It makes me so happy. And what I like about this movie is there is chaos. In the first one, the sharks are hurting everybody. They're very methodical. They're very smart. In this one, I just think that Scorpion song, "Here I Go Again, I'm Out," is playing while the little buggers just run around going, yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
They could quite easily eat Aaron, but they don't. They like knock him off, and he swims away. But we know he's not a swimmer from earlier, and he hasn't learned to swim since like earlier today when he was first pushed in. And so they could quite easily like chomp him, but they're just having fun. They're just playing, or they're still full of Josh, maybe. So they're not hungry, but they will be hungry again soon because they're about to eat Leslie. They've just eaten Leslie. Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah, they're full.
With most shark movies, you've got a very stealthy shark. You know, they're quiet in the water. Their fin cuts the water. Are they behind you? Who knows? Are they in this room? The baby sharks make an entrance every time. You see them coming, and it's just terror because they're vicious little piranhas.
That's it. It's so easy to see where they're coming that Daniel can see them through a window and 30 feet of corridor.
He can hear them. She can't hear him, but he can hear them.
They're not particularly fast either.
No.
Yeah. They take a while to get to Leslie.
That's it.
I feel like they're just swimming in circles, Jay. Do you think they're just rollicking right now? They're just like, yeah! They're high-fiving each other underwater.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we've seen the little clips of CGI. They're all over the place.
They're in a frenzy.
They're doing somersaults in the water. They're just hanging out. They're listening to some scorpions. Yeah.
Oh, I know it's not in our segment, but I like the one where they leap out of the water because I was genuinely shocked that they did that.
They're cute.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I want some.
And when Daniel is screaming through the door to Leslie to get out of the water, he's like pointing up, trying to get her to do the exact same thing, to jump up and grab a pipe. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have his quads, so she can't. But that would have saved her.
His stunt prowess. I was really impressed by that move.
Yeah, that jump.
I've been waiting for someone to do it. I guess Aaron, he's not really the athletic type, so that wasn't going to happen. He's obviously paddling on a deflated rafty bed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was a good move.
Yeah, Jay was talking about that last week. I mean, he explodes out of there. He does. He's got that stuntman prowess.
Because Jeremy Boileau's a stuntman. But yeah, it's a very tall jump he has to do from waist deep water, which I certainly couldn't do.
That weighs you down.
Yeah. And he's fully clothed
they're
as well.
soaked at this time.
All right, can I ask you all a question?
Please.
Sure.
Okay, I want to see which movie you get to pick. Okay, we're not going to rank them because that would take too much time. I'm going to give you 3 scenarios, and you're going to pick the 3 that you think you could most likely survive. All right, you ready for this, Jay and Megan?
Me personally, or as a character from Deep Blue Sea?
Oh gosh. Okay, so you both are Scoggins, Michael Rappaport.
Oh dear.
Okay.
There's a step up, but not much. But okay.
Oh wait, we should stick to this movie. You're Aaron Elroy.
Okay.
From Deep Blue Sea 2.
Okay, so not the most.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, we're going to survive because the sharks like us. So it's
Oh yeah.
There you go. That's true.
Zanardi has a theory that Bella has a crush on Aaron because all Bella ever does is chew on his little shoe and never kills him.
Yeah.
Random aside, you asked my thoughts in general about the movie. I feel like these characters have the most action figure names ever, and I kind of appreciate that. Like, I can see a whole line of action figures that you would play with, and these are their names.
Oh yeah, Carl Durant,
Misty Calhoun, and Trent Slater.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. And even Aaron Elroy, like that. That has
with posable arms and legs.
Ooh, that has a cadence with shoes. You can take off with replaceable shoes that are chewed up. Oh man, I want the baby sharks.
They'd be life size as well. That'd be great.
Oh man.
I would love that. Just you can wind them up and they go rollicking around the bathtub.
They could be like those little toys. Remember the ones that you would put them in water and they'd expand?
Yeah.
Like that.
Give me all of them. Give me all of them. And then you get just Trent walking around with his lats. Misty Calhoun with her zippable suit. What do you think?
Yes, that is quite the magic zipper.
Yeah, only zip so far.
I've never had a zipper that stays so well in my life.
Maybe she welded it.
I mean, maybe.
All right, so here's the situation. You get to pick 3 that you think you could survive. And Jay, if you haven't seen them, just leave them out.
Okay.
Alien. You are Aaron Elroy in the movie Alien with the xenomorph. We're talking the face hugger to the chest burster to the